Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Now today we're going to be doing another overview of yet another computer that I have acquired here. This, as you can see, is the Apple IIc, and believe it or not, this was another gift to me. I actually got this for free from somebody. It was not the same person that gave me the Macintosh Performa, and if you did not see that video, I would highly recommend that you go and check it out. There's going to be a link up in the top right of your screen as well as down below in the video description. But I'm going to do another sort of overview of this computer. Unfortunately, I cannot power this on because I do not have the power supply for it. I'm going to be hopefully going through and actually ordering that from eBay or somewhere like that. But in this video, I just wanted to do a brief little overview of this computer. So the Apple IIc, I know most of you guys have probably seen one of these before. I mean, this was this whole Apple II line of computers was very popular in the late 1970s and in the 1980s as well. So this model, the Apple IIc, was introduced in 1984, April of 1984 to be exact, and it was discontinued 4 years later in 1988 when Apple announced the Apple IIc Plus, which was basically a better version of this computer. This one right here sold for a price of $1,295, and like most of the Apple IIs, or pretty much all of the Apple IIs except for the 2GS, this had an 8-bit processor that was clocked at 1 megahertz, and it had 128 kilobytes, not megabytes, but kilobytes of built-in RAM. And that could be brought up to 1.12 megabytes if you had revision 3 or 4. I don't know which actual revision of the Apple IIc that this one is. I'm not sure if it was ever upgraded before, but it is in very nice shape. It's kind of a little bit dirty, especially on this handle right here, but that's not anything that can't be fixed with just a little bit of cleaning. So what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of go around and show you all of the ports and kind of what this computer has to offer. Unfortunately, I don't have a full-size Apple II to actually compare this to, but the C in the Apple IIc stands for compact because this is much smaller than the Apple II, and it was also in some way meant to be somewhat portable because of this little handle on the back here. I'm not sure if people actually use that. I mean, I assume that people did, in some way, but this was meant to be somewhat portable. I mean, obviously, you're gonna have to, not just carry around this, but you're gonna have to carry around like that big monitor and all of your, accessories and your disk drives and all of that. So it's not anything like a laptop computer, but it is somewhat portable because it is much smaller than the full-size Apple II. Which is why it's called the Apple IIc. So obviously we have right here is your standard keyboard, which kind of looks a little bit like the Apple II GS keyboard right here. I'll actually just bring that into the frame here so you can see it. They are not the exact same key switch. They do sound a little bit different, and the Apple II GS keyboard here is, a full-size one with a full number pad over here and a few more keys around this area, as well as the power switch up here, obviously. But they do kind of have, and I can kind of show you here, they do kind of have the same, like the actual key design is, somewhat of the same. So up above the keyboard right here, you have a reset button. You've got an 80/40 switch as well as a keyboard switch. And these are actually interesting up here. So what this 80/40 key did is it actually switched like what column mode that the computer was in. So 80 columns or 40 columns. And this keyboard switch actually, from what I understand, actually changes what layout that this keyboard is. So right now this is a QWERTY, standard US keyboard, but if you press this button, I believe it would change it to the Dvorak keyboard. It obviously isn't going to change the physical keys, but it will change like what that the computer recognizes these keys as. So that's very very interesting. I've not seen many computers that have that. Over here we have your disk use and power indicator lights right there, and that's pretty much all it is for the front. Obviously, there's some vents in here. On the side here, we have your headphone jack as well as a little volume knob here that you can change the volume of those headphones. On the back here, I'm going to kind of go through all of these ports and tell you, what they are if you can't tell already. So starting from the far left here, this one right over here, as indicated by this little icon up here, is your mouse or your joystick port. Right next to that, we have the modem port. Next to this, and this is like that nice little handle again. But next to the handle we have, or I should say underneath the handle, we have your two different video ports. We have one right here for a standard RGB monitor as well as one for a video monitor. Next to that, we have your external disk drive port. So if you wanted to use, another disk drive besides the 5¼ inch floppy drive that was built into the machine, you could plug that in right here. And next to this side of the handle, we have your printer port, your power supply port, and your power switch. Obviously, and unfortunately, like I said, I don't have the power supply because the actual power supply is not built into this. It is external, so it does have this port right here that you need to have that power supply. So unfortunately, I don't have that. Hopefully, I will be actually booting this up in a future video. If we move over to the right side is where you see one of the big features of this computer, and that is the built-in 5¼ inch floppy drive. Something that none of the Apple II line had besides the Apple IIc Plus. None of them had a built-in 5¼ inch drive, and it works like you would expect it to. And this was also a big selling point from this computer because, on the Apple II, you had to get, and pretty much all of the other Apple IIs, including the Apple IIgs, you had to buy a external floppy drive, and you would have to lug that around with you if you wanted to take it from place to place. This one made it way easier and way more convenient because it's just built in right here. And we're going to go ahead and flip this thing over to the bottom, and I can show you what's underneath here, mainly just the service tag right here, but it says the Apple IIc, obviously all of the copyright information, and yeah, I mean that is pretty much it. Yeah guys, I'm very sorry again that I'm not going to be able to boot this up in this video as much as I wanted to, but that is a brief little overview of the Apple IIc. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, definitely be sure to give it a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe down below if you want to see more videos like this in the near future. And also be sure to comment down below if you want to see a follow-up video to when I actually get the power supply for this. If you guys want to see a video of me actually booting it up and taking a look at the software that I have for it, as I do have I believe Apple DOS 2 or something that may work with this. So yeah, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching again, and as always, I will see you in the next video.